Number 21, Lizzie Lewis. Number 32, Brooke Scott. And number 34, Allie Simpson. For the whole team on the scoreboard tonight, Calvary Temple. Number 12, Christy Cornwell. Number 14, Lena Carson. Number 22, Laura Scott. Number 50, Hannah Harris. And number 52, Isabella Johnson.
All right, it's time to tip off this girls Division 4 matchup between Andrews and Calvary Temple. Andrews will be in the red uniforms going left to right. Calvary Temple will be in those white uniforms going right to left. For Andrews, they will start Maddie Coleman, Johanna Hong, Lizzie Lubert, Brooke Scott, and Allie Simpson. As that shot goes off the board, put back up, no, and still fighting away and putting it in is Brooke Scott for a 2-0 lead. For Calvary Temple, it will be Kristen Cornwell, Regina Carson, Ava Stocks, Hannah Perozic, and Isabella Johnson. Cornwell.
Looks like Andrews is in a 1-2-2 zone. Calvary trying to look to what they're going to run against it. Moving the ball, good patience.
That's an interesting defense. It's a jump ball. It will stay with Calvary Temple. There's one thing I've seen Calvary play for years at many different national tournaments. On the men's and women's side, they are very patient usually, fundamentally sound, and like to run offense till they get a shot. 3 ball on the wing. That's good. Triple.
Nice shot.
Right off the top, it's Isabella Johnson with the 3.
Saw Andrews yesterday play. They're definitely, their strength is going into 32.
Johnson with the steal. Cornwell will reset. Well, in the game I saw earlier today, 21 for Andrews. Lizzie Lubert had a bunch of breakout layups, but was having trouble making them. But she was getting up the floor in a hurry, just like that right there, and laying it in.
Yeah, she I remember her the other day. She hit some key layups in their game to finish it off. Saw just the tail end of Calvary the other day playing. 52 is definitely their go-to player.
And we've got jump ball to go back up the floor to Andrews. Now the size advantage in this game definitely with Andrews as well, and you'll see not only Brooke Scott and Lillian Doherty, or excuse me, and Lizzie Lubert, but also Lillian Doherty, who is just as big coming off the bench. Inside, that layup is good.
They definitely have some, a big girl coming off the bench that does very well for them. I'm interested in this what they coming out in. Andrews 1-2-2 extended zone. Nice pass inside.
And the shot goes for Hannah Perozic. It's a 6-5 lead for Andrews.
Looks like Calvary coming out in a man.
That pass deflected. Now picked back up by Allie Simpson. Will hand it out front. That runner's no good. Rebound put back up, no, and no again, but whistle and a foul.
Once again, that size coming into play, they just cannot box her out.
So Isabella Johnson with her first, team first. Brooke Scott at the line. It's the first.
Nice looking shot.
And the second one is good. 8-5 and a timeout to Calvary Temple. 30-second timeout. Back with more in a moment. You're watching the NACA. Out front, Cornwell thought about firing that three, went inside anyway, and then Johanna Hong with the steal, trying to push it up the floor. That's knocked out of bounds, and Andrews will keep it.
You know, right out of a timeout, you don't want to see you throw the ball away. I don't know what she was talking to him about over there this early, but that's not what you want to see as a coach. They're still coming out in their straight man-to-man defense.
That shot comes up short, and it will be Calvary basketball.
There was nothing between her and the glass except air and space. She just decided to pull up and shoot it instead of taking it on in for a layup.
So Cornwell across to Johnson. Isabella left it in the middle of the floor. That won't go. And the rebound comes to Andrews.
That was a nice pass inside. She just couldn't convert.
Rosic had a good look. Made one of those a little earlier, but couldn't get that one to fall. And now Andrews to start back up in this offense here. Under 4 minutes to go, opening quarter. A 3-point lead for Andrews. Baseline jumper, that's good. And Johanna Hong with the bucket.
Nice shot. Got him right back in it.
So out front, Cornwell will fire a three. That's short. And the rebound comes down to Coleman. For Calvary, you don't mind Cornwell taking threes, but within rhythm of offense.
Definitely.
For sure.
And we talked about that a lot in the game before. Threes are fine. But just one pass shot, and you're 35 feet from the basket is just not within that rhythm.
Maddie Coleman picks up her first foul, team first on Andrews.
So it's not a 1-2-2, John. It looks like a box and one.
Yes, they did go to a box and one.
Box and one this time down the floor. Last time down the floor as well. Let's see how Calvary handles that. Going to run her off a bunch of screens to free her up.
And you can tell Calvary hasn't seen that a whole lot.
Which I'm surprised, because watching them play, you definitely can tell that 52 is the offense.
That three off the mark.
Apparently the Andrew girls were watching the
last
Veritas game, before.
Everybody fired threes. That time, Johnson did get free and then had a nice pass on the inside, and that wouldn't go. That shot partially blocked, then it went off the head, I think, of Perozic. Coleman up into the front court. And the runner won't go from Scott. Picked up along the baseline by Coleman. Scott will fire a 16-footer. That won't go.
Those last two shots, definitely not her game. She's got to post up and try to work off that block when I've seen her to be most effective. Good give and go.
Johnson down the lane, and she got clobbered. That was effectively a clothesline.
Pretty much. I was looking for the off the top rope.
Yeah, there it is. Got another look at it here on the replay. And this, if you're going to foul.
She definitely going to make her earn it from the line.
So the free throw here is good for Isabella. She'll have another one coming. As into the lineup comes Nevaeh Hippler along with Lillian Doherty. And there's that size, not as much height, but size on that bench that they can rotate through some players, and that helps, especially down the stretch.
And Calvary has a lot of girls on the bench. I can't remember them subbing any at all this first quarter.
They don't go too deep into that bench. Hong out front, trying to work. That's actually really good defense from Cornwell.
Calvary looks like it's straight man-to-man.
And down low it goes for Doherty. Back out along two. That's off the mark for Simpson, and now
that's not her shot either.
Free throw line
good
won't
pass.
go. Rebound back up and in by Doherty. (12-7). Down to the final 30 seconds of the opening quarter. Johnson underneath as she gets tripped up.
Andrews with that bench is going to bring in a fresh person, it looks like, every couple of minutes to guard her man-to-man in that box. And if that's the case, it's going to be a long night for her.
I mean, you got enough people, you definitely could just rotate through bodies.
And so far, it doesn't look like Calvary's figured out.
Really, all they're trying to do with that is run her off the
couple of screens down at the bottom.
Low.
Someone else is going to have to step up here, though.
And the problem for Johnson, though, is once you do that for a couple of quarters, she's going to have nothing left.
No, definitely.
You can't just keep sprinting from one side of the floor to the other.
No.
With unlimited energy. Three ball on the wing, that won't go. And that'll do it for the quarter. Well, that's an interesting first quarter. 12-7 is the lead for Andrews. We'll come back with quarter number 2 in a minute. You're watching the NACA. Start of the second, 12-7 is the lead for Andrews. Johnson on the baseline, comes back out front for Carson, and now Johnson again running baseline. Jumper there, rattles around it out.
In and out.
And it will be Andrews basketball. Well, and again, for a little while, that might be effective, but 4 quarters of that's going to be really difficult to come up with. Let's see, Andrews overloading the near side here. And that was actually a pretty nice move.
It was.
By Hippler. She just didn't finish. Now we have a whistle and a foul.
Well, not only is she going to get worn out on the offensive end of the floor, Calvary has been doing nothing but playing man-to-man defense the whole time. So she's going to be having to chase her man on the other end of the floor as well.
For sure asking a lot. So Cornwell gives it off to Johnson, and it almost seemed like they lost track of who
had who.
Yeah. Johnson down the lane, throws up a runner. That won't go. And the rebound controlled by Andrews. Maddie Coleman up into the front court. Three ball on the wing. That's off the mark. Carries out of bounds from Doherty. Go back to Calvary. You know, you mentioned about halfway through the first quarter, we're like on pace for the guys, but I don't think they're reaching 90.
No, I don't think we see 90-60 in this at all. Maybe for their whole three games of the tournament, maybe. But Calvary just doesn't seem to be able to run anything effectively against this box and one. Great game plan by Andrews. Obviously, they saw him play before, but someone else is going to have to step up for Calvary and hit a basket somewhere, because 52 is just not going to be able to score every point of this game.
Well, this guy, you know, we were talking a little bit in the break about getting some more movement offensively. Even though you're playing against a zone,
you still got to move.
Yeah, the more movement that you can create, the more the defense will have to react, and then that helps Johnson too kind of work off some things. And then here we go. So they just
definitely
switched out defenders again.
Somebody else on her.
And Isabella, and
the people you got in that box and one, they're playing basically right now what we used to call old man church league defense. They are not going to move to stay in that one spot, and they can do that because Calvary's letting them do it. And you know, another 3 at air ball.
That's carries out, and Calvary 0 for 4 from 3-point range. And since they've gone to that box and one, I think Calvary's gotten 1 basket since that point.
Yeah.
That was a nice little give and go. That shot off the mark. Then we got a whistle and a jump ball. And so Lizzie Luber was trying to finish there, and now Andrews will get the ball back.
Calvary still in that man-to-man as well. Let's see if we can get something easy here for Andrews. Both teams are kind of been in a scoring drought here for a while.
So back to 5 minutes. Long left it in the middle, and that's picked off.
It was a nice roll, but she just couldn't handle the pass.
So a jump ball will give it back to Calvary.
Our guys over at the table are going to get tired very quick of switching that possession over back and forth, to say the least.
So Johnson will walk it up. Cornwell for 3 in the corner. That's off the mark. Carson gives it up to Johnson. Down the lane, Isabella throws up a runner and scores. Well, she's still finding some ways to get points, but it definitely isn't easy.
No, it's not. And that's going to start wearing her down, too. Does she have all 9 points for them?
She has 7.
7 of their 9, yeah.
And deflected, and now comes back to Johnson, and she'll bring it up again. Out to Cornwell. Down
Good
the
pass.
lane. Good look. Back across. And that won't go. Rebound picked up underneath by Zoe Drew.
She's got to hit those shots. Wide open layup underneath. She's got to hit those. She's got to hit those for Calvary.
So on the wing, Drew will swing it back across to Hong. Down the lane, throws it up on the run and scores.
And she runs back like she does that every day.
Right.
She meant to shoot that way, and she knew it was going to go in.
I mean, it was
interesting.
yes, it did work. Johnson along the baseline gets free, misses the layup. Back out Cornwell from 15. That won't go. Saved underneath, and Andrews going to come away with it. It's 14-9. 3 minutes to go in the half.
You know, to my knowledge, Andrews has not hit an outside shot yet.
No.
But Calvary still going to stay in that strict man-to-man. With their limited bench, they've not subbed the whole game. I would definitely be thinking about doing some type of zone and giving mainly 52 some rest on the defensive end of the floor.
So a whistle and a foul.
Look like illegal screen, I think's what they called.
Okay. That'll be the team 4th. Johnson will walk it up into the front court. It's a step now, gives it up. 3 ball in the corner. That won't go from Cornwell. And we got a whistle and a foul on Regina Carson. That's her first, team second.
Only 7 fouls total for the half so far.
Drew goes baseline, and we got a travel, and it'll go back over to Calvary.
I see 32 for Andrews, working pretty hard to try to get the ball on the blocks, and it doesn't seem like they're trying to find her very hard to give her the ball. She's been pretty effective when she's had it.
Johnson to Carson. They try to go back to Johnson, was knocked out of bounds. And in for Andrews comes Deborah Cardoso.
We got another new person on 52. That's the 4th person I've seen playing her box and 1.
3 ball rattles in and out. And Andrews will come away with it. Neither team has made a 3. Calvary's 0 for 7. Andrews is 0 for 2. Cardoso down the lane. Give it off to Lubert. Now on the near side, 15-footer is off the mark for Allie Simpson. Down to 1:20 to go in the half. Down the lane. Has a good take to the rim. Just couldn't finish. This back out, and that's going to be a pushing foul underneath. But the key is on who? I think they gave it to Isabella Johnson. Okay. That's a...
timeout here, I think, full timeout. You were talking earlier, John, about the number, what the shooting percentage was for threes. I do not think that these girls will shoot as many as we saw in the boys' game.
No, they won't. And that was, we had what, 20, 38, 42 threes attempted in that game? That's a lot of threes in a 30-minute game.
Veritas 28, is that they
they had 28, and I think Emmanuel took 14, and together combined they were 10 of 42. 10 of 42 combined.
And you know what? They'll shoot the same. They'll shoot the same tomorrow. because they just think they can hit it. They just think they can hit it. And this is actually more threes than I thought I'd see in this game so far.
Yeah, me too.
I really am. But I'm not seeing any movement on either side of on either team. There's not any movement. There's just a lot of standing around, passing the ball around the perimeter. So after a while, somebody says, well, I'm out here, I'm just going to shoot it. They get tired of trying to move the ball around.
So coming away with that is Cornwell. She'll bring it up as we approach 1 minute. Cornwell gets it up on the wing, and out of bounds it goes. Well, points are definitely on a premium in this game, so when you have a layup or something that's free throw, anything, you better make it, because
definitely.
There's not a lot to be had down the lane. Speaking of layups, that one missed by Maddie Coleman, and now Calvary will bring it up again.
And we talked just a few moments ago, John, off mic, and on this level, if you hit layups, you're going to win this game.
Yep.
And when you're missing layups, it makes it just so much harder for you. And through the years of coaching, a lot of times in games like this, I used to tell the referees, hey, look, let's say the first team to 25 wins and we all go to Waffle House, you know.
Well, Cornwell hits a shot. That's her first made bucket of the game, and a good time to do that with 10 seconds to go in the half. And that thrown almost into the backcourt, saved by Cardoso, down to 4 seconds. And the shot at the buzzer, no good. And that will do it for the half. Well, 14-11 is the lead for Andrews. And you know, last game I said it would take me a while to go through all the stats.
It will not take that long tonight, I'm sure.
It will not take very long for that first half. First off, for Calvary Temple, 2 points for Kristen Cornwell, 2 for Hannah Perozic, and 7 for Isabella Johnson, including a 3 and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Calvary Temple is 0 for 7 from three-point range. For Andrews, 4 points for Johanna Hong. Lizzie Lubert has 2 for Lillian Doherty, and 6 points for Brooke Scott. She is 2 of 2 from the line. Andrews is 0 for 3 from three-point range, and at the half, they lead it 14-11.
I'm going to go out on the limb here, and I'm going to say that if a team can win this game by scoring 30 points, what do you think?
I think you're probably right. Okay. First to 30 is going to be hard to beat.
It's going to be hard to beat. And the thing about it is that another thing I'm going to be interested to see is Calvary, no subs the whole first half, but stayed in that man-to-man defense. So I'll be interested to see how quickly they get worn down.
All right, well, we've got about 10 minutes, then we'll come back. We'll see what happens in half number 2. You're watching the NACA National Championship Tournament. Start of half number 2. It's a 14-11 lead for Andrews. Now, we said that more than likely this wasn't going to be a high-scoring game. I think we're going to be right about that, but we'll see. And this will stay with Andrews. Didn't appear like they were going to go into like some sort of high-powered offense right off the bat.
I did not. I don't think so. I will be interested, though, to see if there's any offensive adjustments by Calvary to compensate this box and one that Andrews is playing. If I'm Andrews, I'm staying in that because it's been very effective. Nice pass inside. That is what they have to do. If 32 gets the ball on the block, it's going to win. Now, we see a little pressure by Andrews. I don't understand this.
And jumper on the baseline doesn't go for Regina Carson, and then
looks like she got
Allie
poked in the
Simpson,
eye, I think. Accidental poke in the eye. Hey, you know, if I'm Andrews and my box and one is working on Calvary, I don't understand for them to go to full court press, which makes it very easy for some shots to go up on the other end of the floor.
So Hong into the front court here. And Calvary staying in that man-to-man. Good pass into the post. Layup missed by Brooke Scott, but Andrews will get it back again. Runner along the baseline, that wouldn't go, and picked up underneath by Perozic. Now back up comes Calvary. Middle of the lane, little drop pass.
Nice pass.
Carson gets that to go. So Regina Carson with the bucket, now 16-13. Like I said before, when you have those opportunities,
you got it.
You have to
capitalize on them, yeah.
3 out front, that's off the mark.
Now the last 2 times down the court, Andrews worked it around, got the ball inside, got a good shot, scored on one of them. That time, 1 pass and then another 3 that does not fall.
Pass out of the post, deflected, stolen away, and now Andrews will bring it up again.
Let's see if they go inside again. Calvary staying in that man-to-man. Screen roll, or just a screen.
And back out front to Hong. Well, now Isabella Johnson is playing post defense on Brooke Scott. So
now they switch.
Or she was for a second. Like, you want to talk about really working hard.
Yeah, I don't understand that one at all. Hey, they go inside and she scores again. This is when I like to see Calvary come out in the zone. Andrews not hit a shot outside the paint.
Yeah, pack that. Put a 2-3 in there and pack everything in the lane and make them hit some outside shots first.
Definitely.
So out front, Coleman gives it up to Johnson.
I will say this about Johnson. She works just as hard to get her shot off. Nice shot.
Yeah, Regina Carson's made a couple now. Calvary really needs that. Yeah. Somebody else to step up and become a threat.
If she can do that, they're going to be right in this ball game.
18-15, 4:40 to go in the third. Good entry pass. That is a really nice pass, and then completing it is Brooke Scott.
That was a nice pass. That is what they've got to do. That is what they've got to do now. Andrews comes out. I think they're in the box and 1 again. Good defense.
Outside 3 ball. That will go for Cornwell. And again, Andrews will bring it up, leading 20-15, coming up on 4 minutes to go in the third. And that off the mark, and again, not exactly the shot you're looking for if you're Andrews.
Yeah, once again, the last 2 times down the floor, they worked the ball in. They got a nice, easy layup inside. And then for some reason we just want to come down and not even one pass and jack a three, just come down and jack a three. And I just don't understand that.
Well, and this is where the full court press, it gets Johnson into the front court, and she had a 3-on-1 break
and throws it away.
Threw it away. Down the lane and whistle and a foul. That will go on Cornwell. Her first, team second. Allie Simpson to the free throw line. So first free throw off the mark. And that one good. So 1 out of 2 that trip.
Here they come with the 1-2-1-1 zone, full court press. Calvary handles it pretty well.
3 ball on the wing. That won't go. Cornwell does have the ability to make some of those, but she has just not been on target in this game.
There's not a shot clock out here in the high school level yet. I'd like to see everybody calm down and work the ball around more.
Inside, a couple of looks here, still going, and finally laying it in is Brooke Scott, and a timeout to Calvary Temple. Full timeout, 23-15 is the lead for Andrews. You're watching the NACA National Tournament. So out of the timeout, Carson on the wing. Hands it off to Cornwell, and now Johnson. Cornwell wide open for 3, and again, she just has not been able to find that shooting touch so far.
They're in a...
Yeah, now you're seeing more of a zone look on a Calvary, or at least it looked like it was a zone. Underneath that's knocked
it looked,
out.
but I couldn't tell for sure if it was or not. I'm trying to figure out what, if I can see anything offensively or defensively it changed because of the timeout, and I've not seen that.
Well, I know
yet.
for sure because Isabella Johnson just yelled, "We're in a 2-1-2."
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you heard it.
That's
they're
the
not.
problem.
She is. She may have been in one, and the rest of the team did not know it.
So Scott with another bucket. You got a whistle and a foul on Zoe Drew. Her first, I believe team first this half. Well, I think they're going to go right back to man-to-man next time. But I think that gut instinct to go 2-1-2 is a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
But you have to work it out. I mean, it might take a trip or two.
They don't have anyone that can match up man-to-man with 32.
3 ball out front. That's good. And finally, Cornwell gets one to fall. She's been firing away.
Just keep shooting till you get it, and she did.
And she's the kind of shooter, she might make 2 or 3 in a row. That one off the mark, 25-18.
Outside shooting is not Andrews' game. They need to be working the ball inside to 32 every time.
There's
wide
nice
open
look.
inside.
And the layup from Ava Stocks. Well, now we are in a scoring
frenzy compared to the first couple of quarters.
25-20, down to a minute 15 to go now in the third quarter. Pass in the post, that's not a good entry feed and really should have been a steal, but Stocks couldn't control it. Now wholesale changes here for Andrews. Long had it go through her hands, picked up by Cornwell. We got a jump ball and it will go to Calvary.
Andrews back in that 1-2-1-1 full court zone press. It worked. Pass right to midcourt.
Off to Johnson, gets a screen. Couldn't get the shot off though.
She was trying awful hard to do it though.
Now she will get a shot off for 3. That won't go. Rebound underneath to Stocks. And again, Calvary Temple will reset down the lane. Johnson's runner, that won't go. Rebound tip back out. Hong with
wide
it.
open.
Breakaway, but struggling to come up with it was Lubert, and now Andrews will just settle down.
See if they hold for 1. Calvary back in the man-to-man. They went that zone, right, what, 1 possession, 2 possessions?
And we got another turnover. Johnson brings it up. Off to Cornwell.
See if they hold for 1.
Down to 3 seconds, 2, and this is a good look at the buzzer, and it's good. Cornwell buries it, and what were we just talking about? If she hits 1, she might hit 2, 3, 4 in a row.
And she cuts that lead down to 2.
So we're back to a 25-23 game. We'll head to the fourth quarter. You're watching the NACA. Back to fourth quarter. Now Andrews with the ball. Pass goes in the post, and he had a travel, and it will go back over to Calvary. Well, Calvary Temple has brought a large contingent of fans who, for the most part tonight, have not had a whole lot to cheer about. But now it's starting to get a little loud because Calvary has life. And up it comes. That goes through the hands of Cornwell and out of bounds. It will be Andrews basketball.
Yes, they have got a lot of fans here. Considering how far away they are, they have brought it looks like the whole school.
Free ball in the wing wouldn't go, and it goes out of bounds back to Calvary.
In fact, I'm looking around for some Andrews support in the gym, and I don't see any.
I think their guys team might be over here,
over here to the
but that's
right.
about it.
That's it.
16-footer wouldn't go. Rebound cleared out. And we were talking in the break, your first to 30 thing still might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I tell you right now, Andrews inside to tie it up.
That's a nice look, and Brooks Scott with another bucket, 27-23. Johnson gives it up. On the lane, Cornwell, and that is a blocking foul on Allie Simpson. That's her first and team second.
Kind of a lazy foul there. She just did not want to move her feet, stuck her hip out. Fatigue may be playing a factor. It's got to be playing a factor for Calvary here. They've not had a one sub the whole game.
Free ball on the baseline. That wouldn't go. Rebound, back up and in. Well, Isabella Johnson continues to work on both ends of the floor and finally getting a little bit of help, too. That won't go, and we got a tie-up on the floor. We'll go back to Calvary.
Calvary Temple. Chance to tie it up here. Andrews in a 1-2-1-1 zone full court press again. And trap in the side. To stay in it and trap again. And it pays off.
There it is, a steal and a wide open layup for Allie Simpson.
If you hit a layup, you're going to win the game. Another bad pass.
29-25, Stocks has it. Pulls up in the front court. Three ball from Johnson. That's short, and that was not an in-rhythm shot. It was just
ill-advised shot there. Chance to cut it down to two again. Had plenty of time and to work something around. Pretty ill-advised shot there.
That's part of when you work so hard all game to get open. When you're open, you're like, man, I've got to
shoot
something
now,
up.
Yeah. And they have been on her in that boxing one all night. Calvary Temple on a man. Andrews taking a little more time now. Good entry pass.
That won't go. Back up and in, though. And that's been the problem.
They just cannot match up.
Brooks Scott has just been almost unstoppable when she gets the ball that deep in the post. We got a whistle and a foul. Will be on Allie Simpson. That's her second, team third. But the later this gets, the bigger a 6-point lead seems.
Definitely. Points have been at a premium here this whole game. And Andrews staying in the trap.
Cornwell dribbles herself into a trap in the corner and then throws it away. So back it comes to Andrews.
If I'm Andrews here, I do not want anything but great shots. And they better start by putting the ball inside to 32 before anybody else does anything.
Hong is looking now.
She is open. They didn't see her. They didn't give it to her. They didn't see her. One of the two.
Well, if you're Andrews, really, I mean, you could back it out like they're doing right now and just hang on to the ball for a while because there's no pressure underneath. That's just thrown up there. No good.
That was another rush shot.
Mess up the floor. That shot blocked and taken away by Brooks Scott.
You know, just to bring this up real quick, if you're going to start looking at stopping the clock to foul, you know,
Yeah,
Calvary only has 2 team fouls for this half. So if they get in that position, they're going to have to start fouling pretty quick.
Yeah, it becomes, you know, I've always said as a coach here, be as physical as you need to, and if they don't call it, then we'll get some steals, and if they do, yeah, you get
right back in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need where you get it up to 5 or 6 fouls or something.
1-1 is way far away right now for them.
Because the problem, especially at this level, if you get down to under 20 seconds and you only have 2 or 3 fouls, it's going to take you 15 seconds or so to get those fouls.
Well, you know, you're looking at a 6-point lead here with 4 minutes left. I'm with you, John. I'd say play pretty aggressive, going for the ball. If you get it, you get it. If not, you're not hurting us because we need to pick up those team fouls anyway. And
typically, you know, something I've seen a lot at tournaments over the years is they'll usually let you be a little more aggressive and a little more physical than they will. That's just some singular games, because part of that's the time thing. And
definitely.
And see what they're going to do first. If they start calling all that, then back off. But I always like forcing some calls to be made first and then adjust what you're doing.
Yeah, see what they're going to do first, definitely.
So off it comes. Carson. That's knocked away and now tracked down by Cornwell in the backcourt.
It's like we're in a man-to-man, but nobody wants to guard her. Or we're in a box again.
I think you can get Cornwell some really good looks out of this too.
If you could run something.
I know she's struggled for a lot of this game, but she's hit her last 2. And if you can get her some open looks, that might be your best available.
Well, and we talked about this a little bit too. They're still trying to run everything through 52. Why don't we use her as a decoy and just pull her out and set up Cornwell or somebody to get something else?
So this pass almost picked off. Now down
nice
the
pass.
lane. Good look. And the layup inside by Lizzie Lubert.
I think that might have done it. Well, nice steal.
Back the other way, Lubert again down the lane. That won't go. This tip back out. Yeah, an 8-point lead is a lot. So the foul on Maddie Coleman. That'll be her second and team 4th. Neither team is anywhere close to being in bonus.
No. And that's what we talked about earlier. They've got to pick up, Calvary's got to pick up the aggressiveness on the defensive end of the floor. And I don't see anything being run here.
That deflected, knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Calvary.
Calvary's not substituted at all this whole game, John.
Nope. Pass on the far side, carried almost out of bounds and now turned over. And you're at the, I think you really need, Isabella Johnson needs a breather, and they need a timeout or something.
Yes, definitely.
Because she can barely get up and down the floor. Down to 2:08 to go.
Calvary's in a man. Coach is trying to get him to come up to foul, I think.
Well, yeah, at least come out and chase the ball.
Yeah, they were just still sitting back in their really laid off loose man. His lead is 8. That's only their 3rd team foul. A long way to go.
Cornwell picks up her second.
And there's a steal.
A turnover. And here comes Isabella in the front court, down the lane. And we had a whistle and a foul.
looked like she conked knees there with somebody.
And she was already, I mean, she was struggling.
Definitely.
Both ends of the floor. And
yeah. And it would be amazing what just a little bit of rest would have done for her. Nurse Sandy coming out there to take a look at her.
So 1:43 to go.
Now here's something interesting, John.
Is she cramping, or it looked like it might be?
Might be a cramp.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get some ice now. Something interesting here, John. She's went down. There's no one coming up off the Calvary bench to take a warm-up off or act like they're getting ready to get in at this point.
When you do this, you're going to have to get somebody up off the bench.
You got to have a sub because you're pulling her off the floor. But no one is.
It looks
Calvary's got 3 or 4 assistants over there, and no one's doing anything to talk to anyone about, hey, you got to go in at least for a couple of seconds.
She's definitely cramping up. They're
working that calf
and that's
muscle.
what we're saying. You could tell the last 2 or 3 trips, she was really struggling, and then tried to push herself to get up the floor there, and it just got to be too much. Yeah. And she's done so much. She's worked so hard on both ends of the floor.
Definitely. So it looks like they're trying to give her some salt tablets, rubbing that calf muscle, trying to get that stuff loosened up. She's going to have to come out of the game. And you know what? At this point, you don't want to risk something else. You've got to have somebody come in for her, and I think play the string out. I mean, it's 8-point game. Once again, Calvary, plenty of girls on the bench. None of them have seen any action tonight.
No. Yeah, and it's difficult when you're trying to figure out how you could use some people to spell, particularly if you have a very inexperienced team. It's hard to really figure out where you can use one of them and not have a drop off. If you can, the biggest part with that is when you're staying in man the whole time.
Definitely.
You can't hide someone within a man, so it makes it much more difficult.
Yeah, and that was something we talked about again at the coaches clinic today. You know, zone is not always a bad thing, and but you got to be willing to do something with that. Now, is she going to take a timeout here? And
she can, yeah.
And now we get her back in. Yeah, she's taking a timeout.
So you can go down that road.
And then to see if they can, during the timeout, she'll be able to recover and get back in. So I understand. I think she's a senior and she wants to play her out.
Yeah, try to get it.
But at the same time, not a whole lot of confidence in any of those girls on the bench apparently to come in.
Well, we're down to 1:43 left, and we'll see. I do believe Calvary still has at least one timeout remaining after this. And it's not only now are you going to need to get points, but you have to force turnovers or foul, and you have to do that quickly. I mean, only 3 team fouls.
3 team fouls right now, so you're going to have to foul pretty quickly.
And the problem is there are a couple defenders that have not been playing up on the ball on purpose. I mean, they're not trying to come chase way out by the three-point line, but now you have to change the mindset and get them to push all the way up the floor, and that's also difficult to do if you haven't done it a whole lot.
Well, she's back in, and it's on the floor.
All right.
They've got to score here if they have any chance.
Cornwell, nope, left it short. And a rebound on the inside. Johnson comes back down with it. She fires a shot. That's off the mark. And finally collected there by Andrews.
There's one of your fouls.
Yep. So, and Cornwell's really been the only one to recognize that and come after it, but somebody else has to help.
Definitely.
Or else she's got 3, I think.
And they're also just going to keep moving the ball around the perimeter to somebody unless they. Nice play. Somebody's wide open.
Good look ahead down the floor, and there'll be free throws coming up here as the foul on Isabella Johnson. That will be her 3rd, team 4th.
And not a lot of time ran off the clock. So you're good, and it's a shooting foul, so they're in good shape, but points at a premium.
Free throw here, rattles around and in. So Lizzie Luberts will have one more coming, 34-25. And now a 10-point game at 35-25. Johnson with it.
If I'm Andrews, I'm not doing anything to even stop this clock foul-wise.
No, definitely do not foul.
I would even be going into a zone.
This tracked down by Cornwell. All the way back out top to Johnson. This is using a lot of clock. Cornwell with a deep 3. That's off the mark, and is settling for shots that don't really benefit you a whole lot.
Calvary coming up full court man. Yeah, I like to, if you're going to shoot a shot with this lead, I want to see it go into the bucket with a chance to stop the clock and go to the free throw line. Neither team in a 1-on-1 yet.
Baseline 3, that won't go from Johnson. And back up it comes. Hong with it down the lane. No. And that knocked out of bounds.
I'm letting her go coast to coast.
They can even just let her make the layup.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
There's a turnover down the lane goes Hong. She'll lay it up and in.
And that'll do it for sure.
And
clock continues to run here.
Down to 28 seconds. That was almost a turnover on the inbounds pass. So Havana comes up to Cornwell, and that's gonna do it.
Calvary girls are just spent. You can tell they played man-to-man the whole game. Only 5 of them the whole game.
And they've chased too. And Cornwell and Isabella Johnson they can hardly move.
And the thing about it is, John, they got to play again tomorrow.
Yes, they do.
And that's going to be rough on them.
That's going to do it. This is a good game, and Calvary made a run and got everything out of those 5 that they could get. And
definitely.
Come up 12 points short, but give Andrews credit to a good defensive game plan that they went to quickly after the first couple of minutes. So 37-25 is the win for Andrews. Your final totals. First off for Calvary, Kristen Cornwell with 8 points, including 2 threes. Regina Carson with 4. Ava Stocks with 2. 4 points for Hannah Perozic. Isabella Johnson finishes with 7 points, including a 3 and 2 of 2 from the line. Calvary was 2 of 18 from three-point range. For Andrews, Johanna Hong with 6 points, 6 for Lizzie Lubert, including 2 of 2 from the line. 2 points for Lillian Doherty, 3 for Allie Simpson. She was 1 of 2 from the line. 20 points for Brooke Scott, including 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Andrews 0 for 6 from three-point range, but Brooke Scott really the key, and the fact that the entry passes were so good.
They were.
On a lot of those that set her up, and that's the difference. I mean, they had the size and they used it.
They definitely, and when they stuck to that, that's when they got their lead and kept it. And whenever it got to be close, they went right back to that, and that's why they kept the lead again. Calvary, yeoman's work, but 5 girls playing the whole half, the whole game, and man-to-man, just you just tell the fatigue just started to play a major role early on, and they just had no one else step up to help the other 2 girls on the team.
All right, so that'll do it. We have one more game tonight at 8:30, which anymore, well, I guess that's an hour. About an hour from now will be our last game. There'll be a boys Division III matchup. So we'll take a little bit of a break. We'll come back with that in roughly an hour or so. You're watching the NACA National Championship Tournament.